watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
And so glad you're with us. 6 a.m. on this Tuesday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Thank you for joining us. So a little blip of fog, that's what I ran into, at least in parts of San Diego. Here's the video from the 52. This is going right through UC, like the Genesee exit, but literally a mile later, it was all clear. And I'm sure this is gone now. So let's see what's going on. Meteorologist Evan Arani, you've been keeping an eye on things. Not that foggy, right?
Not foggy this morning.
The 15 corridor was fine.
We've seen a lot of improvements from where we were, 2 hours ago.
Okay.
So as the sun starts to come up, we're about a half hour out from sunrise.
Nice.
We're seeing mostly clear skies. This is that live look outside from Mount Soledad. Sunrise is 6:34. I will say, however, one thing you might notice, aside from the potential of fog, is the cold temperatures. Ramona right now is sub-freezing, 31 degrees to start off the day in Ramona. Julian's at 38, Mount Laguna at 35. Out by our coastline, we're generally in the 40s, where we're usually in the 50s. 47 in Oceanside right now, 49 in downtown San Diego. So it is chilly out there to start off the day, and then by the afternoon, we should be making it to the mid-60s and upper 60s. Coming up, we'll be talking more about what the rest of the week looks like, but I want to send things over to Vanessa Paz, who's checking in on traffic this morning.
Good morning. 6:01 is the time on your Tuesday. We got a couple of A-frames reported in the fast lanes. Cars are swerving to dodge. This is on the 15 south, right at the 76 split. Moving a little more west towards the coast, we're also getting reports of a full tire in the middle lane. That's not good. And this is on the 78 west, right before you get to the 5 connector there into Carlsbad and Oceanside. All right, so far so good. In fact, let's go ahead and give you a live look outside. This is the 15 in both directions, right up Poway Road. Right side of your screen is that southbound drive as you make your way in from Poway, headed towards the Miramar Mesa area. And here's what it looks like outside. Sun's slowly starting to light up the sky. Left side of your screen is that northbound drive as you make your way in from Home Avenue, headed towards the 15 connector. Meanwhile, right side is that southbound drive headed towards the South Bay. All right, coming up a little later in about 7 minutes or so, we'll take a look at what your Tuesday travel times have in store. That's all I had. Back to you guys.
Well, later this afternoon, the city of Carlsbad will consider new e-bike measures, including an age limit.
Other cities like Chula Vista and Coronado have already adopted new rules. CBS 8's Regina Yorita live in Carlsbad. There's a push for more restrictions there. Regina.
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. That's correct. Carlsbad is looking into adopting new e-bike safety measures, as well as this new age restriction, which is adopting a minimum age of 12 years old for e-bikes. And it's in line with Assembly Bill 2234, which allows cities in San Diego County, as well as the county itself, to establish a minimum age restriction for e-bike riders. After the bill was passed, the Carlsbad City Council requested that the Traffic Safety and Mobility Commission hold a meeting to gather community input on the potential minimum age. The commission held a special meeting on September 16th, gathering more than 550 comments from community members. Most comments expressed support for a minimum age of at least 12 years old, and many requested that the city consider additional rules and restrictions, as well as a feasibility study. Since then, the city has gathered more data and community input as e-bikes have continued to gain popularity. Staff has identified measures that could clarify existing Carlsbad-specific e-bike laws, as well as new rules to strengthen Carlsbad's approach. So back out here, we do know that that meeting will take place later this afternoon. They'll go over some of the recommendations as well as the comments that were taking place during September's meeting. I'm Regina Yorita, CBS 8.
Regina, thank you. Get ready to pay more if you're still flying without your real ID or an acceptable alternative like a passport.
Yeah, passengers will have to pay a $45 fee to use an alternative identity verification system. CBS 8's Chris Grow live at San Diego International with reaction to people getting charged this. Chris, what are you hearing out there?
Yeah, good morning. So remember, this does start in February, so this does give people time to go ahead and get that real ID or make sure that you have that alternative form that's accepted, for instance, a passport or a passport card. Regardless, though, when you talk about flying getting potentially more expensive for some people, or maybe lines getting longer for more people because they have to wait for those without real ID, you truly do get a heated debate, if you will. Take a listen.
$5 is not that much. I feel like we had like 3 years to do it. Like, maybe let's get it done.
That's ridiculous. It's already expensive enough to travel and go places and just live in San Diego, not to mention having to pay extra money.
All right, so remember, this is for those who do not have that alternative ID, like a passport or, of course, the real ID. And so what will happen is starting on February 1st, you will be directed by the TSA to have yourself verified further. Essentially, that is what they say happens when you show up without that real ID, and that they do all of that work behind the scenes, and that it costs taxpayers money to do that extra verification. So now they are saying that you, as a traveler, will pay for that verification and do this either online or at the airport. Now, if you do it online, of course, this is something that you will be able to do before you get here. But if it's something that at our airport, for instance, you'll have to do here at security, it could lead to a longer delay for those who are without that real ID or alternative ID. Now, they are saying that you will receive a receipt. That means that this is good for 10 days, but many have pointed out, well, what if my trip is 12 days long? Do I now have to pay a total of $90 for this? Now, the good news is that according to the latest stats, a majority of Americans do already have their real ID. But again, if you don't, this is a reminder, make that appointment at the DMV now. Eric Netta.
Okay, make the DMV appointment that you've been putting off. Thank you very much, Chris. Today is Giving Tuesday. The date was created in 2012 with a simple goal, creating a day that encourages people to give back to their communities. Over the past decade, it's grown into this global movement and one of the biggest fundraising days of the year. So locally, the GEM Project matching up to $50,000 in donations. That's to the San Diego Humane Society, doubling every gift made for Giving Tuesday. But Giving Tuesday, not just about money. You can also volunteer or help a neighbor to make a difference. So good way to really think about any local nonprofits you want to support.
So many great causes
we
we have out there.
Yeah, and financially things are tough. We understand.
Yeah.
So an hour or two of your time might really be the way.
And they always say
$5,
$10 goes a long way.
Exactly, yeah.
Whatever you got.
If you can volunteer your time too, yeah, always
Feels good.
helpful to those nonprofits. It's a huge thing for them. Take a look at what today's forecast entails. Mid-60s out by the coast, upper 60s across our inland valleys. Mostly sunny skies by the time we get to the afternoon, although to start off the day, you might notice some low patchy clouds. Not much of a struggle as we start off the day, though. It was mainly an issue around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, but now at 6 o'clock, we're doing all right. 83 degrees is what we got to a week ago in Ramona. That was on Thanksgiving Day and the day prior. From last Thursday, we started to see those temperatures slide gradually. Yesterday afternoon, our high was at 69 degrees. We came in 2 degrees warmer than average. Today in Ramona will look very similar, just a handful of degrees warmer than average out toward our eastern valleys, and closer to the coastline will likely come in a few degrees shy of average. That trough of low pressure is still exiting to the east between now and Wednesday, which means that today and tomorrow still hold about a 15 to 20% chance of some scattered showers in the mix. It's mainly going to come alongside a dense marine layer that starts off the morning. Today, it's not quite as dense as it has been. For example, yesterday morning, we had a good amount of density to it. We had some mist and drizzle, and that may occur again going into tomorrow morning. Then by Thursday, Santa Ana winds will help to kick those clouds off the coast. Temperatures will warm up, and we'll see dry skies that'll last us all the way through about the middle of next week. On that 5-day forecast, you can see how today and tomorrow, with that trough of low pressure still somewhat nearby, we've got cooler temperatures in the 60s. As those Santa Ana winds become a little bit more active, we'll see that jump to 72 for Thursday afternoon, dropping back down by Friday, and then that ridge of high pressure kind of settles into place and starts to give us some warmer temperatures all the way up to 73 degrees. Overnight lows are still going to be chilly. The early morning stretch and the late night stretch, a jacket is still absolutely going to come in handy, especially the closer you are to our local mountains. And then by each afternoon, you should be able to peel that off as we get to the 70s going into the end of the week. Want to send things over to Vanessa, who's checking in on traffic. Things are going on right now, right?
Oh, yeah. We got a couple of traffic hazards, aka looks like just debris kind of scattered in the lanes here, and this may slow things down for you as you head out the door. We're getting reports of a couple of A-frames, for example, in the fast lanes on the 15 South, right where they meet the 76 connector and a little more westward. We're getting reports of a full tire blocking the middle lane, and that's on the 78 West right before you get to the 5 connector. All right, as we zoom on out, this is what it looks like out of the North County and from Oceanside as well as Escondido, anywhere between 65, 70 mile per hour speeds. Here's what it looks like coming in from La Mesa as well as the Santee neighborhood. So far, so good on both the 52 as well as the 8. And here's what it looks like on the 5 and the 805 as you make your way northbound. In from the South Bay, we're seeing a little bit of brake tapping, slowest speeds down to about 57 miles per hour out of National City. But take a look at Coronado. I mean, we are tapping the brakes full span from the 5 all the way towards the island. All right, let's go ahead and give you a live look outside. Really gorgeous view of the 5 all the way through the curves as you make your way into downtown San Diego. This is what it looks like on the 8 in both directions coming in from College. In fact, you could see campus right there left side of your screen as folks make their way towards the 15 connector. And this is what it looks like. Travel time still all in the green as you make your way in from the North County. This is what it looks like coming in from the East County, still on the green, anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. And as I mentioned, a lot of slowing full span of the Coronado Bridge. This is typically about a 3-minute ride, and it's looking like 12 minutes to get you towards the toll booth in from Barrio Logan, anywhere between 10 to 15 on the 805 as well as the 5. All right, 6:11 is the time. Here's a look at your border wait times. We are crawling right now for both port of entries. In fact, San Ysidro's port of entry, over an hour, about an hour 30 to get you in from Otay Mesa at last check.